ladies and gentlemen, this is the Vortex. So this is our first episode, and I'm Vanya.
I'm Cassie. And I'm Sam.
And we decided that we had some great ideas and topics, so we decided that maybe that we should get together and start this thing called the Vortex. We have a range of topics that we will be covering weekly and hopefully weekly,
Yeah.
We're trying to actually get off the vortex. That's the whole point of this podcast.
out of the wrong vortex.
Yes, the wrong
Yes.
vortex.
Exactly.
So
into the right one.
Into the right one.
This is the right one.
Yes, this is definitely right.
And now you have arrived in our vortex.
Yes, you have. Welcome.
Friday the 13th.
Welcome,
Yes.
Earthlings.
Welcome, Earthlings. Welcome to the vortex.
Yes.
I couldn't wait. Hold on a second. I had to
I'm not really able to do that either, but
we're gonna have to tape your fingers together.
Sure.
Just for sole purposes of throwing up the beach. She's a professional here. She's a true Star Trek geek.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yep, I'm a Trekkie.
She's a Trekkie. Comment below if you are a Trekkie.
I know, honestly. Send in your Star Trek questions.
But no
dramas.
nudes. Only feet and toes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Only ears.
Just kidding. No.
Only Trekkie
Only
ears.
ears. That's right. Only ears and bowl haircuts, please.
Yes, and if you're going to be a Trekkie for Halloween, we definitely want to see what you look like.
Oh,
Yes,
show us your
yes.
costumes.
Yeah, that would be really awesome.
Wow. That would be sweet.
Just comment below what quadrant you're from, and I'll understand.
That's like the
And I'll reach out
equivalent
to
of
you.
Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Whatever those are houses.
Yeah.
So the vortex.
So the vortex. So,
All right.
yeah, when you have this thought and you have this feeling that you really want to do something, but there's something that just comes over you and just kind of blocks you, that's what the vortex is. And what we're going to be doing is covering all these topics on those scenarios, and that's what we term the vortex to be. So, and Sam did some research on different sorts of vortexes.
There's a lot out there.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was so extensive until I started looking it up.
Definitely extensive.
Yep.
So that's the topics we'll be covering today. I know from my personal experience, I have planners and books and everything that I decide every year. I'm like, I'm going to do this, or even monthly sometimes. And it
weekly.
never gets done. Same thing. My life cannot go by a freaking checklist, and I think
It doesn't work out that way.
It doesn't work out that way. But if you think about it, is it really humanly possible that we were supposed to be that kind of human, to have everything, written down saying, okay, we're going to do that? Because if it's not in us to want to do it,
right?
Is it really natural? Is the question.
I don't think so. I think it would have to go, back in the day, obviously it would have gone by our instincts.
Yeah.
Our natural instincts wouldn't be to think so far in advance to check things off. I think you'd have to roll with the punches a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fight or flight happens.
Absolutely. It's you don't see animals freaking making a checklist and
No,
going by
they just know what needs to get done.
Yeah.
They get it done at their pace.
Exactly.
And it's it's funny because nature is in no hurry. I think there's some sort of saying. Someone help me here. Nature is in no hurry, but everything gets done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And all the seasons pass, the flowers and the plants and the animals, they all do what they need to do.
Absolutely.
And it's just, and it seems so slow. We can't see it happening. We can't see all the leaves fall just by watching one at a time.
Yeah.
Or, one bud at a time. But, it happens.
It happens. And
Quickly,
there's a
too,
reason
really.
for why it happens.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the thing. It's exactly.
No, wait. So that's the thing is what's going to be great about this show is it's just us talking and speaking our minds. And
very organic.
just putting it out there, because that's the whole, I feel that's, or at least a part of the reason behind us doing this, is for us to step out
of our comfort zone, out of that void.
Exactly. And it's funny because when you were talking to us about vortexes and the actual vortexes we see in our lives, in our environments, like you said, the tornadoes and what did you say about the coffee?
Even just like stirring your coffee
Yeah.
is like
And just-
technically a vortex. Like the water
Exactly.
going down the drain. It's
Yep.
just like that downward spiral.
Yeah.
and
You know, that
then
motion.
Yeah, exactly, and just the way. And then you were also talking to us about the spiritual
Right, the spiritual vortexes.
also.
Yeah. Energy
So, yeah.
vortexes.
Yeah.
And that's
it's
powerful.
crazy. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
wild thing to think about those two different.
But you know what? If
things,
you like looking at, like you were saying, like that whole spiral effect, right? It's just like, it's just continuous, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's continuous, and it's almost like that's kind of like, if you that's our mind.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it's just always spinning because
Yeah.
we're seeing, like, you know, all of these things that we feel like we should be doing and we should be a part of, or whatever the case is. But it's just like, is it really all, like, you know, all necessary? But other than it just being part of social pressure,
Yeah,
you know, telling you that you have to do this and you can never be the person you truly are because you're stuck in the cycle. Right?
And just like a vortex, it gets stronger.
Oh, yeah.
And it goes like into like a tighter,
Yeah.
stronger, like funneled, like right into like,
Ooh,
you know what I mean?
yes.
So then all of that's out there is just narrowed down into this little idea now.
Yeah.
Like a very tunnel vision, really.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I think that's what society kind of does to us
yeah.
overall.
Yeah.
We start thinking on these unimportant things.
Yeah.
And what you believe is what grows. It's
Oh,
what
definitely.
amplifies. It's if you believe that this is your life and your reality, this is what it's going to be. It's just going to keep going. But it's those people and those moments, it could be everyone, it could be all of us, that when it's funny, it also reminds me of a whirlpool.
I think that would also be a vortex.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's an amazing feeling to be able to actually physically feel that vortex, and then just think of, when you're a kid or whenever, when you're just like tired of doing it and you just want to break out of it, and you feel that pull, or even go backwards,
go the opposite way in that resistance.
and you feel that pull.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, no, just stay in here. This is the easiest.
It is. It carries
my
you.
goodness.
And you're not even really
And
feeling how fast you're going
pattern.
either.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's
Until you start going the opposite way and you're bumping into people and
Of course. Yeah.
definitely what we're doing in our minds, in our lives, and
switching
everything.
directions,
Yeah,
or like just stopping the vortex.
and just keep going, keep going.
And if you think about it, like you were saying, like the whole funneling effect, right? If you look at it, is that like, it's like the top of a funnel, like, right, your life. You have all this time. And as the time gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and you're pretty much till you're old and you're dead, basically, like, there's not much, things to worry about, right? I think like when you're at the top of that funnel, there's just so much shit that you have to deal with as you get older, and you're pretty much limiting to your lifespan. It gets smaller because there's not much to worry about. But how about if we started life at that tip of that funnel, as opposed to starting it at the top, and starting to see that maybe like, at the tip of that funnel, things don't have to be as, I don't know, like complicated. Yeah.
Well, also, if you also think about the top, which connects with your insight too, is if you think about the top of the funnel being your life, like society, everything that's going on outside of your body, everything that you're thinking of, all of your issues, everything that you're worried about, everything that you're excited about, your job, everything, life.
Yeah.
And then you're getting stuck into that cycle. And then if you think about it going down, it's like, when you really think about it though, what is most important is everything that's going on here.
Yeah.
So, and that's why you said, and that's also connecting to, if you're focusing on the small instead of the big. And that's exactly true, because it's like, no, because that's you.
Yeah.
And then it's what you can do, and it's what you're actually, you're living, you're breathing,
it's funny, like, I feel like that top of the funnel just feels loud.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's just so loud. Like, now that we're starting to analyze this thing, and it's just, it's loud, it's distracting. You know, you really can't be, you know, you really don't close your mind off from it, you know, because it's just so much. And you're never really able to fully be yourself because of the loudness and the distractions. You know, it's like, as humans, we will never really be able to really know what it's like to be human until we get away from that completely.
Oh, yeah. But part of that is what makes us human. Also.
Yeah.
Which is, like, strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But, like, also I think with just, like, all those distractions and everything, and, it, like, if you picture it as, like, a whirlpool or a vortex, like, if we just can, like, settle that within ourselves so it's not spinning so fast and we're not, like, caught up in all these things, and we can just have a moment of, like, calm and peace. And, like, I know that's my biggest issue is, like, inside feels like that constant movement.
Yeah.
And so it translates to, like, you know, motor mouth, or like just busying myself with things, you know, not giving myself time to just like think
and relax. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And appreciate what's just here, simple.
No.
The simple things.
Yeah.
You know?
No, and then that's exactly what we do. And, you know, it's just like we find one distraction after another, and we never have this sense of just calm because we just, you know what it is? We're just trying to keep our minds busy because that's what our minds want. And I think there's like this whole disconnect from like our brain to our body. Like our body just wants to relax, but the brain's like in charge, you know, saying like, you know, this is what I want to do, because the brain is such a powerful organ that it just wants to absorb so much information. It's like, you know, if you think about it, our brain is like a freaking parasite, right? That just lives within us, and it has complete control over like everything, because we can never really calm it down. You know, it's
we can't
always
detach
going.
ourselves from it.
We can't detach ourselves from
It's
it.
weird because we can detach ourselves from our bodies.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
easily.
pretty easily.
Yeah.
But you can't, even sometimes your emotions, but never your mind. It's, you know, it's hard. And that's part of like meditation, obviously. And I think yoga also connecting your your body with your mind. But your mind has a mind of its own.
Yeah. We've definitely become desensitized to our bodies because like our mind is just in full control all the time. You know, then when things really go haywire and we're sick or we're having pain, and we're like, okay, now the body's now we're really starting to connect to our body.
Yeah.
Because we're like, oh, okay, I forgot you were here.
Yeah.
You know, but because we're always up here, you know, so.
And that's the thing is, are we doing what in our daily lives, are we doing what we actually want to do or what's expected of us? And I feel like the majority of people do what they're expected to do. I mean, really, one of our main goals in life should be for ourselves is to be grounded where we are, to be grounded on this earth until we're not here anymore. And we spend so much of our day, of every single day, doing nothing to actually be able to work on that, to be able to be comfortable and just to completely know yourself, because, you know, we're just living everyday life. I mean, we work. After we're done with working, you know, you just feel like you have to constantly be on the go.
Always,
so it's so important to try and find the best way to ground yourself every single day in something you enjoy doing that may be uncomfortable at first, and you feel like, I mean, I know that sometimes if I sit down to try and meditate, or just exactly try and meditate and sit there, instantly I feel like I should be doing something. Something else.
Yeah.
Something
Or
else.
you're thinking of all the things that you need to be doing.
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
bills that need to be paid.
And, you know, it's just, so you just have to break out of that one part, and it's going to be hard, and you have to keep reminding yourself, but that's important to do, is to always remind yourself that, to kind of just not block those thoughts, but kind of just like
Let them
go.
pass.
Let them go and just
Yeah.
be. So,
And I think you can like rewire your brain. Of course you can, obviously.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
So like you were saying, where like our brain's always going. We can't control it. We can't stop it. I think we could like sort of rewire it.
Oh, yeah.
So like, you know, when you come up with a situation or try to overthink, you rewire it to do something else. Like, oh, I'm going
Absolutely.
to relax, or I'm going to think about this, or I'm
Yeah.
going to do this activity, or you know, it's just changing your ways of thinking and
Of
looking at
course.
things.
Yeah, because, you know, the thing too is like any time with change, it's always really uncomfortable.
It is, especially at first.
Oh yeah, especially at first. But like the more you know, it's almost like anything. The more you do it, the easier it gets to the point where it becomes natural.
Yeah.
You know, and when it becomes natural, then you're able to do those things. But it's one thing too is like, I know me personally, there's been times that I've wanted to change a certain way of doing things, and I'll be consistent with it and it feels natural, but then I go back to the way of doing things. Like,
as
it
soon as
doesn't
you're
stick.
presented with stress,
Exactly.
you go back to,
You
like,
go back
that
to what's
instinct.
comfortable. Yeah.
Because you've developed that for so
Yeah.
long.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And that's the most important time to persevere and to push
Right,
through that,
and retract your
not. And even if you're doing something and it's not your best, you know that you could be doing it better, or you know, with more feeling, more anything. As long
More
as you just
intention.
push through that. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, that's when the next time will be easier. To do
Yeah,
that.
and I think like having support is also important because
for
like
sure.
this podcast is a good example. Like I know I would have been able to do this by myself because
I probably would have never.
yeah, but the fact that like we were communicating all week
Yeah.
about it and we were really giving each other ideas and feedback about certain things, you know, which is why we're doing it now because I would have never done it.
And that's manifesting your own reality.
Yeah.
Which is what we're
Because-
trying to do here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you
Yeah.
have to do. You have to, if you reach out to the universe in whatever way that you want to do it, then you'll receive something.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And honestly,
Absolutely.
like I personally did, like, not that long ago, I reached out to Universe and kind of just asked, like, I want more female energy in my life. I like want more time with like female friends, but also I want a new hobby, and I just didn't know what which I was like, I've tried so many hobbies, like nothing ever really stuck for the most part. I want to try something new that makes me uncomfortable.
Of course,
And
yeah.
this was just like both. Honestly,
Yeah.
it just came at the same time where it's like, here, have all this female energy
Yeah.
and like all this positivity, and then a new hobby at the same time. It's just awesome.
You know, it's so funny that you say that because I feel like I was unconsciously asking the universe for it too. I'd really love to have more female friends because I really didn't have any, and well, I have them, but like they're not, you know, they're more acquaintances from work and such. But and mostly like I would hang out with mostly would be males that which are my friends. And so then that same night I met Cassie, and then I met you like a week later.
Yeah,
so
it just
it's
worked
just like
out.
Yeah, so I think it was all meant to be, and like here we
I
are
think so.
today.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
know.
this is
Doing
this
the
is
damn
the
thing.
universe.
Yeah.
You know, so you know it's amazing. Like the universe definitely works miraculously when you ask for things. You know,
Right. I think you just have to realize that you are entitled to certain things, honestly. You know what I mean? Like things that you can obtain, like why not?
exactly.
Why can't you have it? Just get it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Put it out there.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like talk to people, take chances, try new hobbies.
Yeah, you just
You know
have
what
to
I
do it. And I think right in this day and age, I think we're actually missing the whole community part of it. We're missing being around other people constantly and just having, you know, these connections. And I think, you know, with the whole social media thing, we are so disconnected, but we know that we're craving for it, you know?
Right. And
So-
we think we're connecting every time we go on there. We
But we're
think
not.
that's like we're going to like, oh, this is going to feel great. We're going to have that human interaction. It's like a social activity. But it's not.
It's not real.
I always get
Yeah.
off like feeling so much worse.
Of course, you feel worse, so you feel better.
disconnected.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And it's funny because I don't feel that way about social media. When I go on it, I don't feel connected to people in any way.
Yeah.
I don't. I feel actually completely disconnected,
Right.
and I feel
Yeah.
isolated, and I look at everything and I just all I see is pictures. I don't think that anything's real on there. That's it's
A lot of it
you know,
isn't.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But
really.
you know what I mean? Like, I don't
Yeah.
get that. A lot of people do feel that way, and I
Yeah.
totally understand how. And I definitely, somehow, like, in some ways, I feel that way too. I'm not saying that I never felt connected to people. Like, you know, but obviously I have. But when I just, like, look at the big picture of it, I just feel, like, more alone.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, of course.
And I think it's important to always try to remember that
Yeah.
it's not although people are posting stuff and obviously they're real people, it's not real. It doesn't really matter in any way.
Right.
And
a lot of
won't
it
form
is
any-
edited.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I
you
mean,
can make connections, of course. You can make great connections.
Yeah.
I totally appreciate
Yeah.
social media for what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
There's
It's
positives
capable of a
about
lot.
it.
There-
Yes,
yes, for
there
sure.
is-
Yes.
It has done a lot. Like it's
It
done a
has,
lot
yeah.
with bringing things to light that
Even
were once
this.
covered. Exactly.
Yeah, like social
Yeah.
issues, environmental issues,
Oh,
all
absolutely.
of these things, and even just like seeing people in places from other parts of the world that you might not really
Yeah.
research yourself,
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
you know, you get the inside
Yeah.
view of
Yeah.
things, and it's really interesting for stuff like that.
You know, it would be amazing if, like, you know, all our knowledge of, like, you know, every part of the country and what people are doing, for some reason, there would be a time in our life where we could actually start to connect with everyone, like
Yes.
a physical connection as opposed to a virtual connection.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I hope you guys liked our talk. You know, this is what we're going to be doing. And if you guys want us to talk, you know, if you have any interesting topics you want us to cover, we can definitely cover. You know, just comment below and let us know what your thoughts are. And please let us know your thoughts on our first episode.
Yeah.